Well, we gotta find another way because this tree fell down over the course of the winter and it's kind of blocking the path, and that's a pretty formidable tree right there. I think I'm gonna have to get the chainsaw out and kind of cut that up a little bit. Definitely. I could climb over it, but I don't really want to let go of Daisy and everything. It'd be kind of just like a hassle. So we're gonna go around the long way. So anyways, hey Daisy, you ready for some adventure, huh? Ready for some exploration, for a literary walk? Does that sound pretty cool, huh? Maybe. You're probably like, that sounds kind of boring, Dad. Alright, you ready? Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Justin here at Triumphal Reads with my dog Daisy, as you guys can see. And we're just doing a walk in the woods behind the house and everything. And I thought it'd be a good time for another literary walk, I guess. Like I said, trying to keep up with maybe one a week. So I do apologize if the cameramanship gets a little wonky and all over the place, because I'm trying to balance myself without falling in the mud, and kind of keep Daisy halfway on track when she's not wanting to go with where I want to go, basically. I did let her lead the way out here, but you know, you can't always. She would rather just kind of go explore forever and ever and ever, as long as there was treats involved, I think. But anyways, I just thought it'd be a good time for another literary walk. And in this one, what the topic is going to be is another genre that I've discovered that I enjoy a whole lot. That I discovered, I guess I knew about it per se, but I really didn't start reading books kind of in this vein till the end of last year. And it's, in a way, I don't even know what you'd call it, but basically works of adventure or exploration, things like that. Just really cool. I found them really interesting when either people or a team or even like an individual or something kind of goes off, maybe not necessarily into the unknown, though there are definitely accounts of that. But obviously in this kind of like modern age, there's really not a whole lot of unknown territory left, to be honest. But either going into like uncharted areas or very dangerous or hostile areas, just, you know, where survival is actually like a thing you have to be considerate of pretty much the whole time while you're doing something. And I just thought that was kind of a cool premise for books and everything, and I started kind of, after I read a couple, I've been kind of on the lookout for them. So if you have actually some extra suggestions that you haven't seen me either haul or read in the past, definitely let me know down below. It's definitely a genre that I'm really interested in right now. And just a couple examples of some that I've read somewhat recently. For example, I read Ruthless River by Holly Fitzgerald, and basically it's about two honeymooners. They're traveling the world together as their honeymoon for about a year, but while they're in South America, basically a bunch of incidents sort of happen and they get stuck in an area, and being kind of young and naive and just kind of bold and not really thinking things through all the way, they basically make a raft and go down a tributary of the Amazon. And this was like in the 70s, I want to say. But basically, yeah, and then it doesn't go off quite as well as they wanted, and they get basically stuck in a swamp of like at the Amazon after their like rainy season for like a month. And it deals a lot with sort of the psychological obstacles that they have to sort of push through just to like have the will to survive and get through it. All the physical impediments as well, like these like psychotic bees, and obviously like the heat, humidity, all that stuff. They're basically being stranded in the middle of like some dead stagnant water in the middle of the Amazon. Just seems pretty crazy, but basically it's a sort of a memoir of their survival story. And I thought that was really cool. Some other ones that I've read somewhat recently, like last year, I remember reading two books in December that were kind of in the same vein. One is Stowaway. I forgot the author off the top of my head, but I'll probably put a picture of the book up there. But basically it's the story of Paul Gawronski, a second-generation Polish immigrant who stowaways like 3 times on Commander Byrd's Antarctic exploration mission, which was the first sort of scientific mission thing, I guess, to overwinter in Antarctica. And even though he didn't particularly get to stay in Antarctica himself, he did travel the world, basically as just sort of a, you know, a city slicker New Yorker who has to basically grow up on the scientific expedition ship that goes obviously to Antarctica and everything as a young man. So I thought that was really cool. Just sort of his grit to stow away on 3 separate occasions to finally like earn the respect enough of someone to like kind of let him stay on the ship the 3rd time. So I thought that was really cool. And then like a 3rd one is Emily Voigt's The Dragon Behind the Glass, which is a book dealing with basically the dark underworld of the arowana fish, which is like one of the most valuable fish in the world. Some fish go for tens of thousands, if not more, dollars, which is pretty insane. And basically there's just like this weird, in Southeast Asia, there's this weird like culture regarding this fish because of like kind of its myth and lore and legend and all that stuff. That there's like a criminal underground almost for some of it. And then basically the rarity of it in the wild and how it has to be farmed kind of commercially almost in a way. And she basically at some parts of the book actually goes into the jungle and stuff to try and find an actual live specimen of this arowana fish and everything. So it does deal a lot kind of with like kind of adventuring into some places that people, even though people like live there, you know, it's still very unknown for the most part and mysterious in the sense, you know, what do we actually know is out there for like animal life and everything like that. So I thought that was really cool. And I picked up a couple others that I'm excited to read about. Daisy, don't drink that mud. What are you doing? Come on, pup. Oh my goodness, you're silly. We'll go get a drink in a minute. But anyway, so yeah, if you guys have any suggestions for kind of like adventure or exploration works, let me know down below. And it doesn't have to be necessarily like a modern work. I know there are a lot of like probably memoirs from like the 1700s and 1800s of like explorers and stuff, I assume. Those probably would be kind of cool as well. But like I said, if you have any ideas or any suggestions on things like that, I know there are definitely lots of them. I'd definitely be interested in checking some of them out. So yeah, let me know down below. Tell me if you guys think this sort of genre, like adventuring or exploration, things like that, if that sounds interesting to you, or if you've read some works that you really liked, let me know down below in the comments. But yeah, just like I said, leave some comments down below. Hopefully I can find some new recommendations and check them out and read them, tell you guys about them as well. And we survived our little ordeal. Like civilization is like out there somewhere. See? Oh, jumped as I like dropped the stick. That wasn't that cool. So we made it out of our own little adventure. But so yeah, just let me know some of your thoughts down below in the comments as we make it out. Daisy and I make it out of our own little adventure in the North Main woods, I guess you could say. Yeah, just leave some comments down below. I'll be glad to have some conversations with you guys, either about your experiences or thoughts or recommendations, things like that. Be glad to see what you guys have to say. And always remember, whatever you end up reading, read victoriously.